When your team goes down early like that, and, first time you haven't played Iowa since March of 2020, what does it say about your squad that you guys don't change the way you've played, you keep at it, and then eventually tie the game?
Yeah, no, I think certainly we didn't get the start we wanted, but there was no panic, and I think that starts with Mark. We wanted us to just stick with it, and I thought the group did a good job. Obviously, tonight the depth of our group showed through. I think the Morales line was a big part of our win, and on different nights, different guys step up to the plate, and certainly those were three guys that were pretty important to us. But we liked how we moved after the first period, and happy with the win.
A little faster, a little harder on pucks. How did you see that transition in the game where you scored 3 versus their 2?
Yeah, I just thought we had better legs. For whatever reason, in the first period, we didn't have very good legs, and we found a way to come out 1-1 and took some positives out of that. And then, from there, I thought our shift length was good, and we did some things that we worked on this week that I think helped our game. And at the end of the day, we had bodies at the net on a lot of those goals, and that made life a little bit more difficult for their goalie. And I think we're going to have to continue to do that.
Benefit early in the season to have kind of that spacing between games, a week to a week, so you can use that, the in between to really reinforce the things you're trying to teach these guys.
Yeah, it felt like it was almost too long, to be honest, this week. I know last year we had those big blocks of time where we had some time to teach and do skill work, but you could sense that, by the fourth and fifth day of practice, the guys were ready to play. And I think that, moving forward with the schedule that we're going to have with all those games, we'll get to see a different side of it, having to, adapt game after game, and we're going into a 3-3 coming up.
You guys lost. Do you have an update on Esamon? And how did you adjust based when he went out of the lineup?
Yeah, I have no update yet on Esamon, but he's been a real boost for us in terms of his energy and what he brings to the table. Obviously he's been productive, but I think his overall energy level in games really has helped us. So it was a loss, but guys stepped up, and I think he saw Perfetti get a little bit more ice time, and I thought he really took advantage of that in the second half of the game. And we hope that Mikey's back soon.
Speaking of Cole, Eric Dubois, when he came and spoke to us last week, talked about how there's a huge difference from the way he is now to when he first joined you guys in the beginning of last season, less than a year ago. What have you seen from your perspective of what you've seen like this time around, particularly with him attacking the net and being more involved offensively?
Yeah, I thought tonight, certainly in the second half of the game, he really had some good possession time. He looks comfortable out there. I think this year it is a step quicker than it was last year at the American League level. And I think last year he adjusted to that. I think this year he adjusted even quicker to that. Obviously he had time with the Jets and he's played some games up and through training camp, but his overall pace is better. And when he gets the puck on his stick, you can see what he has to offer. Obviously he possesses the puck, he carries it really well. His entries are strong, but his overall pace is continuing to improve, and it's fun to watch when the puck's on his stick.
Meyer really, like to make a home for himself in the slot area. What makes him so good with generating chances there and taking on pucks as they come through?
Yeah, I think he's an underrated player. Even last year, 5-on-5, his scoring chances tended to be really high, and I think he's a big, heavy body that goes to the right areas of the ice. He's not shy, and it's nice to see him get rewarded from time to time, but consistently, 5-on-5, he generates a lot, even though you might not hear his name.
Your group responded, even with all the chippiness that was happening and the way the game kind of evolved. They didn't, seem to take any, blatant retaliatory or ill-advised penalties. And it's a younger group, so what was your takeaway from that?
Yeah, no, I was impressed. Obviously, I think we only had one veteran in the lineup tonight in Jimmy Oligny, and our group again. I think a big part of the reason why we were successful is that Morales line established their forecheck. They went to the net, and then we followed that up shift after shift. So it was a good workmanlike mentality amongst the group, and that's what it's going to take. Not every night you're going to be at your best. Obviously, in the first we didn't quite have our legs, but we found a way, and good teams do that. And I think Mark did a really good job in sending a consistent message to the group of just sticking with it, and we did that.